And let me share the screen here. Desktop. No, here we go. Google Chrome. Sure. Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone to the March 19th iteration of the MicroProfile Steering Committee meeting. So we are replacing the live hangout today with the steering committee call, as is required by our charter. We have to have one a quarter. That's today. And a link to the meeting minutes. Is it in the chat yet? If not, I'll paste it in right now. Chat. Here we go. Boom. Okay, a link to the meeting minutes is in the chat, and only I will be taking notes today. Typically, we share the responsibility, but not for steering committee calls. And this is being recorded and will be eventually find its way to YouTube channel. Okay. Today's agenda. First, let's go over the attendees. So for IBM, we have Emily.
My name is missing.
Yeah. Jan. And Ed Rott, John Quinnan, and here we have both Amelia, and David. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I missing? Who am I missing? Oh, no, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we have
Garden State Jug needs to be removed. They're not a committee member.
Oh, sorry, that was a copy and paste.
Same for Asia.
Yeah, that was a copy and paste from the last meeting, so sorry about that.
That's right.
Okay.
Use the quorum, so.
Yeah, and the quorum need to be updated to 6, right?
6.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. So we are crowdsourcing notes instead of everyone sharing. Okay. Let's see here. Business since the last steering committee call. So we've got 2 ballots that have passed, the swag ballot and the telemetry 2 ballot. Withdrawn and resubmitted, and I'll cover the resubmission below, without core profile 10 minimum requirement. And we discussed this in the live hangout. That's that link. And so these specs.
Thank you
Hopefully I got
again,
that right.
Emily. That was so nice of you.
John,
was
what
awesome.
about members?
What about what?
We invited Garden State to become a guest member.
I have that down below, but
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, let John run the meeting.
Sorry.
All right, so due today is the Garden State Jug guest membership. So if your organization has not voted, please vote. And I believe we already have the votes to pass. So, but still, please do so to show overwhelming support. That would be awesome. And due March 25th, I think all 3 are due because I just added Open API. I didn't really double check the date. I believe they're all March 25th. Okay.
Right.
Please vote on the plan reviews, and then we will submit MicroProfile 7 platform spec. I did ping Sergey on JWT to see if it'll make it, and hopefully we'll know shortly. The other topics I kind of want to discuss is where we're at with MicroProfile 7, which is normal live hangout kind of topic. The status with the MicroProfile tutorial, I can cover some of that. I've been doing a little bit of reviews. And just to kind of go through the program plan, maybe for get a status for each kind of grouping, and maybe try and set a couple of targets to complete before the next steering committee call. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, so Emily, would you like to lead the release discussion?
Yeah. So with the feedback from David, so this basically is all updated. So as John mentioned, only one cannot not show is JWT. So hopefully, so tomorrow we will just make a decision whether like a GWT is going to do a new release or not. Actually, it's Sergey trying to remove some like the optional sections. Also, I suggest maybe we should have the GWT bridge released prior to that. Maybe if that's only one, probably don't really need to do a release. I mean, in the MicroProfile 7. But anyway, we will, I think, circle back with Sergey, and tomorrow, hopefully, we can make a decision this week. And then with that, is that we can put the 7.0 plan review on ballot. So I think, John, we will just, we need to talk offline and so
Sure.
prepare for the ballot.
Yeah,
So,
and probably Emerson as well. If
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
get into the mechanics of
Yes,
stuff, we
good
should
idea.
invite Emerson as well.
yeah, let's talk, and then yeah, I will see. Maybe we
Okay.
should do a call, and for three of us get together and discuss it and put the ballot on. Maybe it's better for Samuelson to submit the ballot.
Yeah.
So that would be a quite nice thing. Okay, so that's for this, and then for the release timeline, because plan review is kind of delayed. And then also when we get together, also we will just reevaluate the dates for the 7. Yeah. So we supposed to have the plan review done a week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's it. So it's hopefully this week we can tally up these dates and also have the 7.0 plan review submitted by the end of this week.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Any comments on the MicroProfile 7 topic?
Yes, I'm definitely will vote with a -1 on some of these specifications because we are not fixing known CVEs because we cannot fix it on the 2.x parent POM branch, and I announced that before. There was a discussion only on Google Groups, unfortunately, with the concerns from the site from Tommy Tribe. Yeah, just be prepared. I disagree with that plan. Maybe there I also said there is a potential other solution to address the needs by Tommy Tribe, to have a minor release and a major release and include that major release in 7 for these component specs. So Tommy Tribe can still support new features of specifications, but do not have to do the breaking change to migrate to Jakarta E10 based Jakarta specifications. But yeah, if that is the plan, yeah, I will vote with comments against that.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving us a heads up on that. Okay, sorry. In another window, I'm trying to grab a link to the MicroProfile Google Docs, which is how I've been reviewing them. So Tarun is he's continuing to ask us for, let's see if I can pull it up here in
If we
sorry.
could, if we could pull out, John, my recommendation will be to pull out the Git issue. He's doing a fantastic job with process.
Yeah.
So it will be easier for us to add the Git issue he manages, because he's even adding the links of every chapter, and he's tracing his work to protect the contract he has with the Eclipse Foundation on deadline.
Yeah, I went through a couple of chapters this morning. I'm trying to get all caught up. In the comments I have are pretty minor, to be honest. He's doing a really good job. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull up GitHub tracking issue.
Yes, the tracking issue is easier because there will be too many chapters to add to the thread and community forum to add to the minutes. It's not necessary. This.
Yeah, I was gonna look up, he has a Google Drive folder that conveniently
It's
has all
here.
the,
Go up. I created a folder for him, and it's
Is it
on
this one?
my first email and my first comments to him. There you go. Content. You see that folder? Tarun. There. You were below this, below where you were. A little bit down.
Here it is, this one,
Yeah.
or this one. Oh,
You
sorry,
can say
you can't see
Tarun.
my
Tarun
cursor.
yeah,
Okay,
Tarun
yeah, here,
immediately to his folder, and he has it. He controls all of it.
yeah, here we go. So, I'll paste the top level one in here. But the actual Google Docs, and so this morning I did chapter 3. I'm working on chapter 4 now. I'm halfway through that. I've already done 1 and 2, I think. So you can see I've got some comments in there, right, from this morning. So definitely go through and review. Like I said, my comments so far are pretty minor. I actually do intend to kind of, right now I'm just reading the article, so I'm not like validating all the code as I go. Just for expediency, but I do plan to go back and do that. So
And I will just project here because Tarun is not here to speak for himself. He has been joining the marketing meetings, and in one of those meetings, he was asked to consider creating a blog that will state his work on the tutorial, and also to introduce the new repo. That would be 2 different blogs. He didn't refuse. He didn't say anything. He just created the 2 Git issues. Some of us reviewed the work, and it's now being scheduled and pushed via the social media and MicroProfile via Hootsuite, which shows his eagerness to not only work with us internally, but also be acknowledged that he's doing this work in the social media, which is great for his business as well. And not only has he created it in his LinkedIn media, but he's also copy paste, creating the content as a, not cross posting in WordPress blog MicroProfile, which is amazing, right? So I want to say how really helpful and fun is to work with someone like this. I will say that at the beginning when this happened, I personally had no idea what would happen because he can go work in the vacuum and no one will be welcomed. But seeing something like this has been so amazing. Just like when Lars did a pro bono, so wonderful. Open source,
yeah,
true.
Yeah, sounds good. Basically, the other on top of what you, John, you added about the Google Drive, and also it also working basically the final destination. So the MicroProfile tutorials. I have been working with him. Basically, this is quite nice. Actually, some folks review Google Drive, and also I work with the kind of the PRs. The chapter 1 and also 2 all being merged. So it's basically I reviewed and then merged them. So we're trying to basically keep it going. Currently it's 3 and 4 nearly. Kind of I only have a kind of a couple minor points for him to address. And then that would be merged. And then at the same time, I think if he received any comments via Google Drive, he will continue do more PRs. But he's basically he's very conscious and not to have the PR keep open for a long time. We did, I think Amelia, you were on the call as well, did say, okay, the PR should be closed within 3 days. But if
72,
not any,
yes.
yeah,
72
without,
hours that is not
yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, without any kind of if he addressed all the points and etc. However, if he hadn't addressed the comments, and it shouldn't be closed.
Correct. And he is
basically,
going through it.
prevent us from just ignoring his PRs, which is not good. I think we're all good. Yeah, we have as Amelia you said is kind of is quite good to work with, which is great. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I mean, so we're paying for this out of a budget, so it's in our collective best interest to review and make sure
Yeah.
it's good. And even if we don't get it perfect this time, I suspect obviously we'll have to vote on it, that we'll plan for an update later in the year, potentially when we come out with a MicroProfile 7.
Yeah.
Right. Bridge spec maybe and all this other stuff. So maybe the standalone specs. So yeah. Okay.
Good job, everybody there.
Yeah, I mean this is
I will
yeah,
recommend,
he's been awesome.
yeah, I will recommend that under the same MicroProfile, pay tutorial status, because we need to, this is a differentiation on, it's not a pro bono, it's a pay tutorial
Right.
dash 10,000. The contract is 10,000 as listed in the Git issue. We're very transparent on this, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's recorded so he can listen to this, because we have to state it to him on the marketing side, but it's just wonderful to see it.
Yep.
You know?
Okay, yeah, so I hope to finish up at least reading through all the chapters by tomorrow. And then I'll probably start taking a look at the coding aspect of it. Okay, so I am going to move on to the next section, which is basically where we're at relative to the program plan. So I've already covered in prior calls kind of the approach. So I think, and feel free to provide feedback, but the technical goals, let's just cover a status here for this in marketing, and then maybe for the other issues we could discuss here, but maybe just a status for technical and marketing, since we can double click on those in their respective meetings. Does that sound like an okay approach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So technical goals, as it relates to what we have in terms of our program plan, I guess where have we been focusing and made progress?
I think the better in progress evolve MicroProfile telemetry and
Yeah,
also
that's what I was thinking.
evaluate new specifications. At the moment, by the way, we had a good MicroProfile AI kind of brainstorm. So basically, we are going to use the sandbox again and trying to flesh out the ideas. I think it's basically what we said in the program plan previously, and could be nice to have. However, the technical knowledge evolved. Now the shining bit, the dead urgent bit is AI. So I think I think we just trying to embrace that and then making more progress. So if anybody interested, please join next week's AI call.
Just
So-
curious what the what some of their initial ideas were.
The initial idea actually is quite interesting. We saw
Yeah.
it's all the different people like Kim is not an unusual suspects. So it's
Mhm. Neat.
we get the inspiration from launching 4G and also trying to basically, I think the pinpoint is there's so many LLMs and then they make all the different breaking changes. We are trying to basically create a basically proxy layer or the
Yeah.
kind of shield the application developers from having to do the hard engineering. And then it's also protect an user from breaking changes, trying to isolate basically let the implementer to worry about underlying LLMs. Yeah.
And
So
is
and
the
then
goal? Oh, go ahead. Sorry about. I didn't mean to cut you. Go.
yeah. So the goal is basically we'll have some APIs and also maybe with some configurations to allow to plug in the different LLM. and also bring in their vectors, different vectors for the rack. So there's the interesting to see Antoine came back and brought someone along. So it's that person, I can't remember his name, my apologies. He contributed to Spring AI. So basically we said, okay, you need to contribute to MicroProfile. So yeah, and it's also in on the mailing list, somebody else also shared his experiment with a different LLM. So basically, I give them the it's all on the minutes. So if you click, if you go to agenda, like read my latest email. So I also added some minutes link there as well. If
Sorry,
you,
where am I looking?
yeah, the second to last my email.
This
Yeah,
one?
the one, yeah. If you click on the minutes there, you can see the actions, you can see the
Oh, yeah.
people joined. So you can see the Antoine Rican. Yeah, Antoine Rican. Basically, they
Oh,
have
Antoine Sabodorin. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, he was the former spec lead of CDI.
absolutely. I said, Antoine,
Header, X.
MicroProfile, yeah, has your name all over it. You got to come.
Love him.
Yeah,
I love him so much.
yeah.
Yeah.
What time are the meetings?
Yeah, so the meeting is if you go to a calendar again, sorry, let me see. In the MicroProfile calendar, let me
9
find.
in the morning, 9
Yeah.
in the morning, PDT time. I
Okay,
checked.
awesome. Thank you, Amelia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just didn't get the time zone. 9 in the morning. What? You know,
Los Angeles.
Pacific.
At what
Yeah.
time?
Okay.
Los
Oh,
Angeles.
well, that's
Change in
cool.
two-
I
it'll
should be able to
change in
join that.
2
Well, what
weeks.
day is it?
Mondays.
Monday. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to join that. Yeah, I'm trying to start to look at that stuff as well, specifically like fine tuning and training and, but it's pretty complicated the more I dig into it, you got to
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question for the scheduling clarification? I noticed that it was 9 a.m. for like 2 weeks and then it becomes 8 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah. So it's sorry, that's because time change again. So the Europe.
I see.
Yeah. So the simplest, if John scheduled the meeting, the time zone will be rooted in Pacific time, and so the
John's
change will
fault.
happen. The
Mhm.
change will happen when if John or the foundation did it, it's going to be in a U.S. time zone. So when U.S. changes daylight savings or whatever, the meeting will change by an hour. But anything that's kind of scheduled by like Dimitri, Emily, Europe people, it's going to be based in Europe time zone. So that will change at a different time, 2 weeks before or after, depending. So
But
there's
we
usually sort of
are-
a 2 week weird window, and then things kind
Yeah.
of normal again.
We are consistently inconsistent though. So
Yeah,
consistency
I mean
is
we've
good.
got that on lockdown.
Yeah. Don't worry about the timing. We will agree on like in 2 weeks time, and then probably when the time change, we'll say maybe I have to adjust the time again. But anyway, in the next 2 weeks, same time.
By the way, I did ping this morning. I went through and created a couple GitHub issues for the marketing call and the AI call for Ryan. So those should be uploaded to the YouTube channel shortly, right? So you'll be able to listen to the AI discussion that was had.
John, did you tell
Oh, neat. Thank you.
in that ticket, did you tell Ryan to create a playlist in the playlist, the folder just for AI? Every call
I
has its own
Did
organization.
not,
it won't
and
happen.
I should do that. Yeah, I'll look
Thank
into it. If I don't
Thank
see
you.
one already, yeah, then I
Create
can do
yourself.
that.
I mean, you don't do YouTube anymore. I don't either, but you can tell Ryan to
Sorry,
please Ryan.
YouTube is evil, but so is AI. So I'm a double
Exact-
whammy.
Yeah, but I am saying, please remember to do that. Otherwise, the calls are going to be disorganized, and we don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Thank
I
you,
agree.
John.
There should be. So let me look for. Sorry, what happened? My MicroProfile subscription. All right, I'll have to resubscribe to it on YouTube. Oh, there it is. I found it. Sorry, I'm just doing a double check to see what he has here. Playlists. Okay, yeah, nothing there. So I'll ping him on that. And I don't see any prior AI calls.
No, there
And
has
oh, was the first call recorded, Emily? Do I have
Yeah,
to go back?
that's
Okay.
the first call.
it's
Oh, that
fine.
was the first call. Okay, no,
It's
okay.
This
Yeah.
is the one.
Inaugural call.
Yeah,
Okay.
I made sure it's recorded. I know people, it's a kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Emily,
thank you for doing that. I have a
doing
conflict.
yeah. Emily,
Yeah.
you're doing amazing with the emails. I get the email and
Yeah.
it's like a forum. And I thought, oh, that is so wonderful. It happened.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
I'm gonna
you.
move on. Let's see where we at here. So I've created comments for those. Is there anything else? So we got those two. Um, who is going to be leading this one? Oh, it's um Emerson, and he's not on the call today. So okay. All right, so that's progress there. I'm gonna skip down to marketing. Is there any marketing status
Hey, I'm
that
here.
Amelia or maybe Reza
Emerson
or
is
well,
here.
anybody else?
I
Oh,
have.
Emerson, you are there.
He is
Yeah,
here.
Oh,
So
sorry
I
about
just
that.
joined late. I
no,
joined late, so
Okay. So did you have any
I have a couple
status on
ideas
screen?
about that one. Is why I joined yesterday to the AI one. But one of the things I'm trying to unblock myself is to use the surveys on the Monkey survey. So
Mhm.
I can send a couple surveys just asking to the community what they would like to see on the specifications and things related to that. So,
okay, Emerson, on that one, I opened the ticket a while ago and I have been waiting for you to be, Amelia, I'm ready for this. If you're ready, pull me into it and we will just pull the infra via the
Mhm.
ticket and say, hey, can you switch Edwin to Emerson? And then they will provide you with the access, right? So pull me into the
Amazing.
ticket. The ticket has been created like 2 months ago or something. So pull me into
Yeah.
the ticket, Amelia, I'm ready to do this work. Without you, they cannot give you the access, right?
Okay.
We have been just
Perfect.
Mhm.
Actually, that was one of the comments yesterday in the marketing call. I just put that one to make visible on the list, and I will do that. I will add you and
Yeah, the ticket is waiting for you. So just go, you are added as well.
yeah. I put the note yesterday in the marketing call regarding to that particular one. So there is a comment about an action point for that one. Thank you, Mali.
Continue, Emerson, it's your space.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is the other one related?
well, we were going to cover that one. And I was kind of starting to work my way down toward marketing to see if there was any marketing coverage that you guys wanted to give a status on.
One that is directly related to the Dev Nexus. I just sent an email to Clark, like we agreed yesterday, for printing the shirts and the stickers. So I relate everything in the ticket with the spreadsheet that is specifying quantities and sizes. Just asking for and providing the details for the voting. The ballot was closed last week for approval of the design for 2024. I'm waiting for Eclipse Foundation to reply back to us what is next about the printing process.
Okay.
There is a couple
Yeah,
of emails from, sorry, there is a couple of
Yeah,
emails from
sorry,
DevNexus.
I'm just trying to cover like a status, not necessarily getting into the details. I think we can
Okay.
cover that during marketing calls. Unless there's like, are there any planned votes, additional votes? Sorry, are there any planned additional ballots as it relates to this topic?
I don't think so, just the next
Okay.
step.
Okay. Um,
And my question to you, Emerson, is you are leading the DevNexus work. You are also leading it as a steward, the marketing work for March. And since how do you feel about all the different pieces that are currently not technical, but in your lab? As a committed representative chosen for 2024, because it's the first time you're doing this as a formal entity for the working group.
Yeah, I'm feeling good just picking up the process itself, like the marketing, the social media. I've been working with Ryan really pretty well about those things. I sent a couple tickets for, I still reviewing posts in the blog and doing things that I used to do officially now. But yeah, just picking up the process, I think is pretty similar to where I was doing before, but it's just a little more work to accomplish, especially the dev nexus coming. There is a lot of things to complete it to think about. So it's trying to follow up everything to be on time with to the conference, but in general terms, it's moving on.
You're awesome for volunteering. In my view,
And I apologize again. Yes, thank you very much, Emerson. In an effort to kind of achieve what I mentioned earlier, pick out a couple of goals that we target for progress for the next call this summer. Excuse me, next quarter. Can we pick out one or two marketing ones, like the ones that worry me the most, because of the amount of time they'll take, is the sorry, I'm digging forward here. The badge participation badge topic. I'd like us to kind of kick that off and make some progress for the next call. So that's one. And the MicroProfile Champions program. I think we got to start now, because if we don't, then we're not going to get anything done by the end of the year, pragmatically. So do we think that those are two that we can kind of kick off and make progress on before the next call?
Emerson, I will put this on your lap because you are the steward for March and you're controlling the agenda. Do you think it's a good idea to put these two tickets in the minutes as a consent, priority 1 and 2, from the working group? As a topic, as an agenda topic will be program plan, marketing topics 1 and 2, and then everything else on the agenda goes second and third. Do you think that is a good idea? That is achievable under your stewardship for March?
I think the next one is really in April, but anyway, I think that
need to transfer the minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The high priority right now should be the Dev Nexus marketing, everything related to the booth in marketing, and maybe it's a good idea to start thinking about those in a month or a couple months.
Yeah, but the question is, can you just add the tickets? Because
yeah,
you
I
need
can.
to
Sure, I can. I can do.
The question is, please, if you can add the tickets as a priority 1 and 2 for April, when you hand over to whomever is the steward for April, and it's your job to see who is going to be the steward. Is it going to be all of us, or do we have someone from another company to do this, right? So not only do you need to worry about the Nexus and all the work you're doing, you also need to make sure that you hand over the ticket, the agenda, like I did to you, formally, mailing list, here it is, this is the minutes as I see them on it, right?
Right. Okay.
Thanks, John.
Perfect.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is champion program. And yeah, the problem with taking notes is it slows things down, but that's okay, because we gotta make sure we get this covered. Oh, this one's actually community outreach. That's good, because I wanted to.
John, I have a quick question related to voting. Just
Mhm.
remember something came out to my mind. There is one of the activities for the Nexus. Nexus is renting a monitor. And I don't know if that needs a voting. The budget, I mean, the price of renting a monitor is really high. It's almost the same price of the monitor. So I
How
wonder
much is it?
it's like 350 per day or 250 per day.
About
Wow.
1,000? That's a lot. Can we use our computers like we did in 218? Because we're going to use the drive, and anyone that will be a volunteer uses their computers. If you don't have a computer, then you cannot be a volunteer for that moment. It's just a requirement. I mean, that's me saying, projecting here. We have about 12,000 and 12,500 or maybe a little bit less for the marketing and for everything to be used. And why will we use 1,000 or two on machines when we work in software? Makes no sense. We are not having a corporate booth.
Yeah,
This is by
$1,000 is like 10%
Correct. It's too
of our
much.
marketing budget.
It's too much. So this is why I'm saying Tomitry will be a -1, and we don't have to vote it. This is just common sense. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, maybe it's a little less since it's 3 days, but yeah, it's a lot for a
Yeah,
month.
10,000. If we imagine if you have 10,000 and you're spending 1,000 on that, when we could do something much more
Yeah.
valuable. We're software.
So
We work with software. That's not a good
if worse
idea.
comes to worse, put something in a laptop, just face it outwards, and have a discussion with people that way.
Yeah.
That seems kind of pricey for our budget.
Emerson didn't answer the question. You can even close that ticket, discuss in the steering committee, too expensive out of the 12K. We're going with machines.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to these topics here. Referral programs, social media, and forums. Event marketing, sorry, since we kind of discussed it. Promote topics, presentations, and highlight speakers. We're doing that through Twitter cards, right? Twitter posts?
We're doing that to Hootsuite, but that means the ones that
Yeah.
are speaking need to submit. Emerson is in charge of reminding the community as a whole. Well, we will push a social media like we always do that goes twice a month, where it says, if you're talking about MicroProfile, giving a tutorial, whatever, submit a ticket, and it provides you all the information on how to do so. But we will not be policing and doing the tickets for the speakers. That's not what we do. We're not hired to police people. MicroProfilers doing the work, sharing the knowledge in MicroProfile, to send it. And I know Emily is one of the most active, and she knows this has been going on since 2019, and she forgets as well. It is about discipline. We have none at the moment. So it's just a matter of anyone that is a speaker needs to submit the tickets. We will not be able to improve this without that kind of discipline from the community of the doers.
Okay. Let me know if I capture this properly.
Yes, it's correct. Hootsuite, you can say Hootsuite MicroProfile. It uses all the social media, 3 different ones. So
okay. And we send out regular reminders if you'd like your.
Yeah, we send three. It goes one the day before, one during a few hours of the event, and one a week before.
Right.
We can also do 4 and highlight the events. The recommendation is internally the process is written that we highlight the events, the MicroProfile speakers are coming, and to see all, we share the schedule of everyone for the events. And
Mhm.
we do 3 for the speakers as a reminder, join this call, and it will be the same, right?
Yeah, I gotta remind red hatters to do this.
And we have the process written in Wiki, and it's just all of it is updated. It's just that once Emerson
Okay.
is writing the 2024 reminders, copy paste. He's doing the review of the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is going to be out twice. Emerson, we have it twice, right? A month.
Is the one is called speakers highlight call to action, or what? Which one
Yeah.
is we do?
Exactly that one. Uh-huh.
It's once a month right now.
No, it needs to be twice. Once a month, it's not enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it's like not enough.
I'm gonna prioritize that one like the next one, and I'm gonna update the frequency to twice. I mean, to per month.
Okay.
Mhm.
Bi-monthly and bi-weekly are overloaded. That's hilarious. Oh. Okay. I'm trying to see, is there any other 3 seems to be a good number. So we got 2 that we're going to focus on in terms of program plan goals for the next steering committee call. I'm looking for another one that may like take some time.
Try to add questions to the survey. Consider surveys is the topic, but unfortunately, it looks like we were too late to get our questions added.
Yeah, we were also struggling with what questions would we add to that survey, even if we were given it, right? Seeing as they wanted to limit the number of questions to a specific count, which is perfectly understandable.
But we're confusing
And
the two. Sorry, John, we're confusing the two. This doesn't talk about the Jakarta survey in our contribution to them. This talks
Right.
about Emerson as a community representative working with everyone in MicroProfile to create questions
agreed.
as they see. So this is absolutely different, John. I understand your comments, but it's
Yeah.
not about collaboration with the Jakarta project. This is
Yeah,
for
I was
MicroProfile.
responding to
Mhm.
Jan's comment, but yes, this is a very different thing about considering surveys. And we have one right here, right? That Emerson added, right? About using a survey to evaluate the gap. And
Yeah.
again, we should consider surveys for other well, actually that's a good start because that gets us into maybe some planning for next year about potential new specs. So that's a good start.
This one is
So
really
I'm looking.
important, and it should be in the marketing side. Very, very important. I would call it number first because, especially for features, things like that. I'm very excited, Emerson. You brought it up. I missed the call, but I'm really happy to hear this.
Grow marketing team participation. It hasn't been too bad. I know this month is just rough because of all the time zone change, but I think participation hasn't been bad. I mean, obviously this is about growing participation. So, I guess we could continue to reach out to existing members. And we could also reach out to the community, I guess. Maybe with another Hootsuite post to kind of say, hey, feel free to join us in the MicroProfile marketing call. And extol the
That
virtues of
exists.
MicroProfile.
That
I know.
exists. Person, we have it scheduled for twice a month, correct? It's
It is
going to be
twice a month. All right.
twice, right?
Right now is once.
No. Let's change it.
Okay.
Yeah, how about Emerson? Can you send the Excel sheet where every year goes for the tabbing to marketing MicroProfile, and then we will all review it, because what we currently did last year, everyone wanted less posts on those ones, and it didn't help us at all. Remember, we went in a one call. And we said, oh, let's do less. I was against it, but I go with what most people want. And then we noticed that really everything went down in the level of reminders. So now minimum 2, everything goes minimum 2, and those ones that we might discuss will be, it can be changed really quickly in Hootsuite, right? This is why, you know, but everything 2, minimum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But actually, the frequency was already increased from what quarterly to monthly.
Yeah, quarterly was like last year, and
Last
now
year.
we need to do it twice a month. Mhm.
So I'm looking at the steering committee members here. I'm just to eyeball things, and I don't think we're going to grow live participation of working group members in the marketing calls for various reasons, right? Time zones being a big part of it. So there's 2 approaches that we can take, and we can dig deeper during the marketing calls. One is to encourage non or asynchronous participation through the Google group or working group threads, whatever. And assign a task that's not necessarily going to require a lot of back and forth. That might be one way. The other is going to get folks, just like we were talking, outside of the working group to participate. So community members. So what I can do is send a ping to a few folks about maybe doing some kind of asynchronous participation, judge their interest in doing asynchronous participation, and maybe follow up with the next steering committee call.
And
Okay.
I will add to this that my recommendation is to watch the Git issue repo for marketing. That can
That's a
be
good
a
point.
filter. That can be filtered, and it should be filtered by everyone that is a member of the working group. Especially if you're in the steering committee, you should be watching that, and then you just filter it. And when a MicroProfile or anyone wishes to help, they go to the ticket. They don't need to show up in the call, right?
Mhm.
They go into the ticket and say, I want to help on this, and start doing it. Start doing it, because failure is only to those that actually show up and do the work, right? We don't really need the calls. The calls have been kept just because it happens before the community call, and we're just being nice to each other to have it twice. But it gets to the point that maybe we want to do them once a month and be much more,
Mhm.
we haven't even discussed this, but it should be literally working and the tickets. If a ticket doesn't exist for work, nothing should be done. And that is how we have
Yeah.
it in mind.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
so
this is a very good point about using the Git repo to pick off things that are interesting that might help your organization or the products that you have, especially
Mhm.
promote. So yeah, let me whip up some kind of email and see if I can get it posted.
It to be nice.
And, yeah, and I'll cover it in the next marketing call. So
Mhm.
that's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we need to be very careful because, companies, we do provide our employees with a few hours a week to work on a specific task, and that is fine. For community members, right, working in open source like Emerson, it takes away from when he is not at work, or even when he's at work doing this and that and joining this call. So we need to be very careful on teaching new contributors. Yes, they can become committers, but they cannot say, I will do X and then drop it, right? It used to be really good at owning it in that level, but then we have gotten so busy with one thing and another one, right? That we forget to repeat ourselves on, if you join and you cannot do it, just say, I cannot join it. I thought I could do this task, but it's too much for me. And you don't have to explain why. And it seems to me that in writing via the community, we can push the repo as we have done every other year, and make it much more. If a ticket doesn't exist and you believe something needs to be done, you will have to create it and choose to lead it. It's not about you throwing the work for someone else to do. I am extremely against someone throwing the work. If you're not a designer, I get it. But everything else, there are no employees here. everyone is a committer, right? Don't bring the entitlement. We must educate new committers and contributors, right? This happens
Okay.
in open source. I just want to say, this is why I think, John, your tone is better than mine on that email.
Yeah, it will be, I'll work on it. And so I took an action item. So the last thing I'd like to cover in the 2 minutes is there anything that is not covered in the meeting minutes that should be, so that I can send out a ballot to vote on the minutes? Do we think anything is missing?
There's nothing in that burning, John, per se, but one of the things that I wonder about, now that we have a read on a metric, right? Namely the Google Trends. One of the things maybe to think about is whether we actually set goals of what we would like to see out of those Google Trends. Now, I don't know if you wanted to set the Google Trends as an objective for even at a project level as opposed to just a marketing level. That was the only other thing that I thought maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have the time for that, given there's only a minute left. But we can have that discussion on either the Google Group, the marketing call, or we can add it to the agenda for the next steering committee call as well. Yeah, again, it's just a time issue. So I'm gonna kind of reiterate my question about what is there anything missing in the meeting minutes as shown on the screen?
You didn't take a note on my concerns regarding the MicroProfile 7 release status. Maybe you can add that. So somebody can look at the recording for the details.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other? Yep. Thank you for reminding me. Any other missing bullets?
John, in the paid tutorial, why are we not writing 10K? It's fixed and it's public. It has been shared, the
Oh,
pricing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
just,
can.
it's exact. Pay, in the you do dash 10K, just it's dash. We have seen everyone, 1,200 has seen it in the forum. There's no hiding it. And it's
Okay.
very honest.
All right. I think these minutes are probably pretty good to go for a ballot. So I'll send it out either later today or tomorrow, along with a recording request. Sorry, a recording post request to Ryan for the meeting recording. So thanks everyone for joining. And I think we have one more call, the technical call next week, where we have the split time zone issue. But hopefully I'll see everyone there on the technical call.
Mm.
All right, thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
John,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Bye-bye.
recommending us a lot.
Bye.
Amazing.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.